vice versa. So, we're talking about it in the locker room in our meetings. We just have to have a good start. We need momentum. Look at the last half of last season. We were pretty good. We were decent, to be fair, but we put ourselves in such a big hole in the start of last year. It was it was so tough to climb out of. So it's momentum, and we need to have a fresh start, a good start.
John, you've seen a couple of new members on the back line.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first off, congratulations on the call.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good to see you around here for a couple more years. But you have a couple new faces there on the back line. What have you learned about Jakob and Justin just in the short time that they've been with you guys?
Yeah, no. Obviously, good guys. See them in the locker room, on the field, gluttonous right away, good on the ball, loud. I like that vocal. And obviously Haak, like I was saying, he's versatile. He can play center back, center mid. But these are guys that are really going to help us. We need to get back to our defensive ways of being solid, not letting in easy goals, if you will, and just good on the ball. Solid guys. That's what we want. That's what we need, and that's what I've seen in training so far.
Greg's talked you up on occasion about being one of the most dependable defenders on the roster, and so you have that kind of good reputation of being a solid defender, right? But what would you like to add to your game this year, potentially, to be more than just a solid defender?
No, good question. I would say being consistent still, keep being that solid guy, but more of being a leader now. I've been in the league for a while. I've been on this team for a few years now. I think I can take it to a whole nother level, leader-wise, being more vocal, helping the younger guys out, helping the guys around me, and then just keep growing in the attack. I think last year I've shown it. The last 2 years I've shown it. But for me, always defensive first. You're a defender. You need to be a good defender. You have to be solid. And then my attack, I think I've shown I'm more comfortable with that. So I would say that.
There's been some talk with the personnel that's come in. Maybe the back line plays a 3, maybe the back line plays a 4. Have you guys worked on anything like that in training, and how do you see it? Where do you think the team perhaps is the strongest?
I think our team is versatile. If we were going to go to a back 3 or something like that, we could do it. It's been a back 4 since I've been there the last 2 years. But no, like I said, we're a versatile team, and if we have to go to a back 3, I think we'd be okay with that.
We saw this team play pretty well last half of the season, especially probably July 4th on. It was a good team. And we ended this season, there was a lot of optimism for this season, especially with Ricky coming back, and he's looking good in training and all that. To lose Ricky, how do you absorb that, and what are how does that impact what you have to do this year?
I mean, first and foremost, for Ricky, I feel awful for the guy. I mean, this is a guy that we love, we want in the locker room, we want on the field, obviously, but for him to go through that, physically, obviously very tough, mentally, I can't even imagine. He's strong guy, so he's gonna, come back when he's ready. But it's reality. We don't have him. Let's just, push it aside. He's gonna work hard to get back whenever that's gonna be. But no more excuses. Last year we didn't have him, and towards the end of last year, I think we did a bit better without him. You could see, but I would say it's reality and no excuses. We have a whole preseason now to get ready without him, and how can we do that? If the team brings in someone else, I have no idea. We'll see. If not, that's okay. We still have good guys. We have leaders that can step up. So, no more excuses.
Well, and last year, losing Ricky, it changed everything. You really had to rebuild from scratch.
Yeah.
You've gone through it a year. You guys have experienced playing without him, and without the way he influences everything. So you seem you're in a better position to deal with that anyway.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I don't think there's much more to say to that. It's just, like you said, last year was whatever. The end of last year was better, but this year, we have a whole preseason. We have, no more excuses. So, but I agree.
John, what's the mindset as it pertains to last year? Is it use it, learn from it, kind of use it for like revenge as a springboard mentally, or wiping that slate clean, just forgetting about it?
Yeah, I would say for the most part, a fresh slate, forget about it, but also we need to use it as motivation, a little wake me up, a little wake up call. That's my take on it. It's done, it's forgotten about, but I would definitely use it as motivation because, we can't have that start again. This organization, the fans, the standard is way too high. The fans expect a lot, as they should. This LA Galaxy, when you come here, we're supposed to win. We need to win. That's what Vanny always says, and that's what the players were going to get behind. So I would use it as motivation. Yeah.
And speaking to the fans ahead of 2026, do you have a message for them?
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, I would say obviously, last year was tough. That wasn't us. That wasn't the standard. Galaxy fans, you guys expect a lot, as you should. This is one of the biggest clubs in North America. I want to get back to the 2024 ways and the end of last year. Flying, I want to make the digs a fortress again. So that's what I'd say to the fans, and obviously excited to see them.
Talking about 2024, what does Greg tell you? What does he expect from you this season?
As a team or me?
You personally.
I think Vanny's always been pretty happy with me, but I show it on the field. I think he likes me a lot just because I'm a consistent guy. You know what you're going to get out of me. A good performance every game, and that's what I try to do with my routine every day and training throughout the week, and then the game it just kind of takes over from there. But yeah, no, Vanny's always expected me to be a consistent, good player. So I hold myself to a high standard.
Josh, go ahead.
Hey, John, congratulations on the contract.
Thank you.
Just going into the contract negotiations, was there any consternation just knowing sort of how the St. Louis negotiations went, a while ago, or was that a much different process?
I think each team has a different way to go about it. But I would say, obviously, these things just take time. We started these negotiations, I think, back in, September. So, I don't know, 4 or 5 months now. Obviously very happy. A few weeks ago, we finally came to an agreement. But no, I mean, Galaxy was good throughout it. I have nothing bad to say, and obviously very, very happy to, extend here long term.
And then going back to Ricky, when you guys find out, I mean, there has to be this sort of sense, I would imagine, with a designated player, you have one of your best guys on the team, one of the best guys in Major League Soccer, he's suddenly not available. Is there like a group text that goes out about that? And is there 24 hours of, oh crap?
I think when Ricky sent us the text, he let the team know before it hit social media and all that. I respect him for saying that. And like I was saying earlier, obviously mentally I feel so bad for the guy to go through that a whole nother year. It's so tough. But no, it's that's the reality of it. Ricky's not going to be here. We need to find a way to play without him. We have a whole preseason again to get ready without him. But I have a lot of confidence in this group.
Awesome, John. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, John Nelson.
Thank you, John.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Thank you,
Take care,
John.
John.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Congrats again, man.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to keep it rolling. Unfortunately, we have some players. Justin needs to actually return to the gym, so we're going to have to move him through a little quickly. So if you could limit it to like 1 to 2 questions each so we can get through this and get him back to his training. But I'm excited to introduce you all to Justin Haak.
So, hi, Justin.
Thank you.
Well, first off, coming to LA, was this something you were looking for? Or did it something that just kind of fell in your lap? And how's it been out here?
Yeah, I mean, a part of me was looking for a new challenge, and Galaxy were super quick to show me how much they valued me and how excited they were for me to join. So once I heard that, it was really an easy sell for them to get me out here.
Positionally, you can play a couple of different spots.
Yeah.
Are you being looked at in both as in midfield and the center back, or is one leaning more than the other?
I think it's going to be a similar role to how I played in New York last year. I think I am comfortable in both positions. I don't prefer to play either one, and really for me, it's just where I could help the team the most.
What's been the early impressions of the guys just on the field and training so far?
Yeah, the guys have been great. The training's been very intense. We've been doing a lot of running, and I think you can really feel that as a team, everyone wants to start the season in the right way, which is something they didn't do last year, and so we're really focused on this year.
Looking in, what were your thoughts on the Galaxy last year?
Well, I can, even going back to 2024, the Galaxy were my favorite team to watch just because of the way they played, especially with Peck, Pencil, Puig, and Jovic up front. I thought that to watch them was amazing, and I really liked how they played with the ball. Obviously, last year, I think the way they started just made it difficult mentally, but towards the end of the season, you could kind of see them, especially in Leagues Cup, go back to that kind of Galaxy way of playing and really controlling the game, controlling the ball, which is a big reason also why I wanted to come here.
Hi, Justin. Rob Jelani with the Sporting Tribune. What have you learned about your teammates so far in your short time here?
Yeah, I've only been here maybe a little bit under 2 weeks, but so far everybody's been very welcoming. Everybody, like I said, you could feel there's a expectation around the club that to win trophies, and there's always talks every few days about getting the 7th trophy. I think everybody's kind of focused on the same goals here, which is really special to be a part of.
Do you perhaps have a message for Galaxy fans ahead of 2026?
Just that we're super excited to get back on the field in front of them, and I'm going to do my best. Us as a team, we're going to do our best to get Galaxy back to where they belong.
You've had your rival matchups with New York. Have you heard of El Tráfico, and what are you expecting?
Well, first, from watching El Tráfico, it looks like an amazing game to be a part of, and the guys that told me that it's probably the sickest game that you can play in MLS. So I'm very excited to get there. But first we have Champions League in Panama, and then I'm also very excited to play New York first game of the season.
Yeah, and going back to New York, how does that feel playing your former club?
Yeah, no, it's gonna feel good. There's some guys that I'm gonna probably have to hit early on in the game, but I'm excited to play that game.
An East Coast to West Coast.
It's too early to decide. But.
Yeah, because you grew up in New York. You played in New York.
Yeah.
It's leaving New York. This is a big move life-wise for you. How do you approach that?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't an easy decision to leave New York. All my friends, family, I know a lot of people there, but I think it was important for me to challenge myself a little bit and kind of step out of my comfort zone, which is something I'm looking forward to doing here.
You started in your academy, right?
Yeah, when I was 13.
13? Wow.
Yeah.
That is a big
Yeah.
Connection with Will, the Brooklyn thing?
Well, I didn't know that before we came in contact, but he did. That was pretty cool too.
I don't see any hands up on Zoom, so I'm assuming we're good there.
Hey, Jamie, can I get one?
Yes,
Sorry.
of course, please.
Hey, Justin, Josh Gussman, Corner of the Galaxy. We looked at you signed a 1-year contract. I know there's an option, a team option on the other side, but for someone who had so much success last year, why just the 1-year contract that sort of brings you out here? Do you have other aspirations, possibly Europe or other things like that?
No, I think the main reason for that was there was some, like a bunch of rules within MLS about free agency and caps on salaries and stuff. So a part of that was just to get the first contract in, and then if everything goes according to plan, hopefully sign a longer-term deal.
Perfect. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay. Wonderful. We appreciate your time, Justin.
Thank you, guys.
Hope Justin
Nice
take
to meet
back
you.
to the gym.
See you around.
All right, guys, we are just waiting on Greg. He's wrapping up a call, and then he's going to come down.
Okay.
And we'll close it with